Rock the crash bar. Rock the crash bar. This is Legacy Crashbar. Legacy Evolution. Anyway, it turns out the Junkions are more than just Wreck-Gar, and they've been slowly permeating through the Legacy line. And this is the only one I've picked up so far. And the Studio Series, because of that Wreck-Gar remold I don't have. But I did have to get lost in the supermarket to get this guy. And then I had to fight the law, and now the police are on my back. But Clash references aside,
Clash on. Clash off.
let's take a look at what we got. First off, the head. Facial hair on a robot. How does that even work? But it turns out it's inspired by one of his designers, Mark Mayer. So, yeah. It's just a shame he couldn't design any light piping. I do like the not Viking horns. Because as we know, Viking helmets didn't have horns. Unless you're Thor and you're banging Natalie Portman. The red visor is nice. The big forehead crest, whatever that thing is. I do like the look of this guy. His asymmetrical legs. But damn, he's got a 4-pack that's more than I'll ever have. And the headlights for nipples, along with the big, I guess, arc reactor with the Autobot symbol. Very cool. Something I'm not particularly fond of this guy is his arms and thighs look too small for his robot mode. It looks like he doesn't work out at all. But who am I to judge? What else? Oh, he's got a tiny bit of kibble. Got his wheels on his back, which kind of give away the alt mode. But other than that, he's got a nice color combo, I guess. Dark orange, gunmetal brown, bits of red and gold. He is made up of useless junk, so it makes sense that he doesn't have like a consistent or even very appealing color scheme. I don't know. I like the color scheme. It's just a bit interesting. Let's do size comparison, I guess. Here he is with the main man, the wrecking man. Keep your feet straight, Wreck-Gar. Here. Here he is with my previous review. Hey. Zordon, whatever are we going to do? We're going to compare two robots that both turn into motorcycles. And yeah. So, accessories, he has quite a few. And they're a little bit confusing. Let's go over the most simple ones. He's got his exhaust pipes colored in orange for some reason. I don't understand why they're not gunmetal gray, because they're supposed to be metal. You do have storage on his robot mode. If you prefer that, or you can plug them in to his shoulders. If you prefer that look, I like him back here. Kind of a bit lower. Don't get in the way of the articulation, which we'll get to in a second. I don't know. I kind of like that look there. You can give them to him as weapons, sort of. There's no real port that actually kind of, I guess you can be forearm mounted, but there's no way it feels to properly point them like straight. That looks very awkward. His other weapons appear to be straight out of SpongeBob's arsenal. These. Oh, who lives in a junkyard under the sea? Like, these don't resemble guns. They look very confusing to me. And to back that up, he's got brown pants. They're just not quite square. But apparently these are guns that you can give him with the variety of pegs on there. And none of them, I think, look very good. This is probably the best. Look, just this, that, like that. But you can give them in that, which looks too far away and doesn't look like he's holding them properly. And even on some of the pictures, like the pictures on the box, the barrel is supposed to be protruding a bit further. I'm guessing they didn't want protruding parts to make sure kids don't choke on them. But you can also plug them all the way back so he can't bend his elbow. I'm looking at... I'm looking at you, point blank. Also, they don't really have any connectivity with each other. Like, you'd think he'd have some kind of combining weapon gimmick, given the Legacy Evolution tagline, but no. The most you can do is just that, which renders one of the guns useless. I don't see the point of it. And for his proper Legacy Evolution gimmick, we can unplug the wheel, just like Prowl. It's a bit harder because it doesn't feel like you're supposed to do it, but apparently you are. And then this doesn't automatically transform, but it pulls the same kind of shuriken gimmick that Prowls does. Although he can actually wear it not on that peg, but that one as a sort of buckler. Or throw it, I guess. It can't really fit in his hand. No, won't. No, it doesn't want to stay in his hand. But my question is, can Prowl hold it? No, his hand is too... not really, no. Not... Oh. There you go. There you go. he's gripping onto it really tight. Let go of that. And hey, look. You can spin it. That's cool, I guess. And you can just fold it back into a wheel. And we'll plug it in. It only have... Nope, it can go that way. Alright. Now we'll talk about articulation. The head is on a ball joint. Very nice range. Point blank. Oh, that was a transformation step. The shoulders kind of bump into the smokestacks a little bit until you get them out of the way with the outward swivel, which only goes that far and is a hinge, not a swivel. Although what swivels is the bicep, and then you can just pop it off. The elbow, super deep bend, but it leaves that horrible looking empty void for where the rest of his elbow is supposed to be. Do get a wrist swivel, which is nice. Waist swivel, nice and tight, almost too tight. Hips go forward and back, go out beyond 90 degrees. Jean-Claude Van Crashbar. His knees, you kind of have to get stuff out of the way to get a bend. You technically can get beyond 90 degrees, but it starts to transform. And you do have a foot hinge and a almost negligible amount of tilt. Go to the other side, it has a bit more tilt. And kind of a toe joint. This is mostly for transformation. But yeah, he does have kind of standard posability. Nothing too crazy. I say nothing too crazy, but like I collect so many Transformers, it feels like that this kind of standard posability is a lot better than we got many years ago. It just doesn't really, I don't know, it doesn't feel special anymore. If that makes sense. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. He can move, although he does have a tendency to separate a little easier. Like that time I had to force it, but I do find him, like, especially this one, just kind of separating himself while I'm playing with him, because he has the feature I'm not going to show of separating his body parts, like the old 6-gun in them from Siege, where you could sort of form armor for, I guess, another robot, to the point where they've even made a Junkion Kaiju looking thing out of the like all of the deluxe ones that have come out that I don't own. So great for that. I have to find them at some point. But, I like his robot mode. It doesn't feel anything special, and he has a tendency to balance on one foot a bit while I'm trying to stand him up. Like, because I have it's kind of awkward getting his like legs to be the same length because of their you can't. He's done blah 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 balance like that a bit because of the asymmetry that's necessary for his bike mode. And with that, we must transform him into bike mode. So we will now get to the chopper. So to transform him, we're just going to remove these to start. Oh no, parts forming. And we're going to collapse the head. Although you can sort of, doesn't really fit if you go the other way. It kind of gets stuck. Also a little bit hard to get out if you don't do that. There we go. Just rotate it the right way, collapse it, and we'll be good. Oh, come on, Neil. What are you doing? No, come on. Alright. Rotate the fists. And sort of plug them into the shoulders. They don't actually tab in. They just kind of rest there. I don't know why they feel the need to tell you to rotate the hands. It doesn't make them fit any better. You also fold the shoulder and make sure that it tabs in securely. Like that tab, that slot is going in right in there. There you go. Then we're going to rotate the waist. Come to the, is it the right way? Yes. Thigh, rotate it forward. Take these little gray bits. They're going to be the handlebars. And fold the head. So it's kind of like that. And this is a tiny bit awkward You got to make sure the thigh shifts down, because it can be way too easy to just pull it out like that. Shift it down and it sort of plugs in to the arms. There are slots right there that it, I guess, rests in. And there's the front of your motorcycle. You do the same thing with the back. Fold that down and fold that in and rotate. And there you have the basic motorcycle. Let's make sure the wheels are actually level. And that was very simple, but also not very satisfying, if I'm being honest. Like, it doesn't feel like a solid mode. Like, this doesn't feel like it tabs in very securely. I really don't like that gap in the arms. It makes it much more obvious that it's not an engine block. And, you have, hi, I'm right here. Yeah. So the reels rolled okay. Again, he can't stand on his wheels. He'll just kind of go like that. So no real doot-de-doot action.
Well, shut me up. Not only can it stand up straight, it can roll decently. And then go wee. Well, let's see. Can Wreck-Gar roll? Nope. So he's better than his, I don't know, leader, I guess?
There's no real articulation unless you want to consider this. And there's a little bit of steering. Mind you, the wheel doesn't move side to side. Just the headlight and the front of the motorcycle. But, I don't know. We do have some accessories we can plug on. If we take his gravity cannons, apparently they're gravity cannons, because why wouldn't you give this guy just free control over gravity? And we're going to plug them this way. So it plugs in, and then it plugs into that port there and that port there. So you'll know the wheel is in the right position if the gravity cannon can plug in as a saddlebag. Why does this guy need 2 saddlebags? I don't know. I guess they can be extra propulsion, or they can control his personal gravity so he can go faster. I mean, he could probably fly. It just leaves too many questions. But these are his exhaust pipes, and they oddly plug into his hands and fit into slots right there. And I guess that kind of covers up the hands from certain angles, but I don't know if it makes this thing look any better. Mind you, pile of junk, you kind of know what you're in for with the Junkions, but like, there are much better vehicle modes in the Legacy, Studio Series, etc. The Generations Junkions. But for now, we'll have to do a size comparison. Here he is with animated prow. Yeah. two motorcycle bots that take very different ways or paths to transform into their motorcycles. That's what's, in my opinion, so much more interesting about a bike than a car former. Because a car former, you have very few kind of very obvious paths to get from one mode to the other. But even though these are kind of raggedy motorcycles, I really like that the transformations are interesting and not just fold hood down and tuck in legs. And here's a size comparison with his leader. A much better motorcycle in my opinion. I don't know, I like it a bit more, maybe because it's bigger, because it probably can actually fit somebody sitting on it. Like you can fit another wreck car sitting on this almost. I want to get that junk heap at some point. There you go. And do I recommend this guy? If you like the way he looks, then sure. But I don't know if you're gonna enjoy the way he plays. If that's a phrase I can use. Like, it doesn't feel like he gives you much play value for some reason. Like, I don't know, the weapons, accessories aren't that interesting. The removable wheel is interesting. I don't know. This alt mode, it's alright. Alright. I'm undecided. There are weapon ports, I guess, on either side of the gas can, either side of the seat. Plug one into his foot. Probably plug one in there, maybe? I don't know. I think you get him mostly for combining with the other Junkions. So for that, we'll see in the future how deep into the pile of junk I actually go digging. But for now, yes, the one last question, should I stay or should I go? I think I'm going to go now. So, thanks for watching. I'll hop on my motorcycle and go hunt down Robert Patrick. Or more likely, Robert Patrick will hunt down me. But until next time, I'll be back. Keep it weird. Bye.